And good morning, family, friends, and good morning, my family of friends. Called that? Yeah, that's you. Good morning, and good morning again. This is yet another day the Lord has allowed us to see, and for that, we ought to be eternally grateful. It's a blessing just to be able to wake up in the morning, leave your home, go somewhere, and return. That's a blessing. So we're blessed to be alive. We are living in and through some of the worst times in history, and as a result of that, you ought to just thank God. You really should, um, because it's His mercy, it's by His grace that that we're able to be here, and yeah, give God a great big round of applause. hmm So, how are you all this morning? I'm doing well. It's another great opportunity to be alive. We've got a couple of announcements. I want to say good morning to Pamela Davis Stewart. Good morning. I want to say good morning to Miss McGuy Tomasa, and good morning to the Right Reverend Good Doctor Andre Carlos Cooper. Good morning, Lashina Porter. Good morning to you. Before we dive into our topic, there are a few announcements that I want to hit real quick. Don't forget about the brunch because I'm in the wrong screen. Why do I do this? We're gonna go through a little walking through the screens. There we go. I was in the wrong screen, and because I was in the wrong screen, I could not pull up my announcements. But here they are as follows. Transform Her, the fifth annual Beauty and the Beat Women's Empowerment Brunch. Transform Her, Saturday, July the 30th, from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. VIP admission is at 11 a.m. So the founder is Miss Raquel Hill. She's the wife of Javon Hill. You know the Hill boys, Hilltop. Yeah. And this is her empowerment brunch. This is the fourth year. So you do not want to miss this. Some of her special guests is going to be Leandria Johnson. The girl voice is golden. Don Lopez is also. And then you have Katie McKnight, Camilla Nesbitt, um, Marcia Nurse, Tamara Sorry. You don't want to miss this. I can promise you that. It's dancing all across the screen as a sign and confirmation that this is not something that you want to miss. So she has blessed us that I'm going to be giving out tickets. I'm going to give out probably about 2 tickets to this empowerment brunch. I thought that was very kind of her, very nice of her, very thoughtful of her. And this is a brunch you don't want to miss. So, ladies, do me a favor. Ladies, you can get tickets at Beauty and the Beat at 2022.eventbrite.com. Why don't you bless a couple of sisters and take them to be empowered at this empowerment brunch? It is guaranteed to be a blessing to you. Okay, that's real important. Also, I want you to know that there's an election on August 23rd. Yeah, August 23rd. There is an election. Here's why we're having an election. Your sheriff, McWilliams, basically put out we found out that he was not living in Duval County. That goes against the charter. As a result of that, Sheriff McWilliams is retiring on June 10th, is his last day. And as a result of that, we've got to vote. We've got to vote. His name is Ken Jefferson. This is the guy that we need to get in office. This is the guy that's going to hold criminals accountable, make the street safer. and create opportunities for the homeless, fair housing. You need to go to his website so you can see what he's running off. His campaign is that of integrity, character. He promised that he's not going to abandon us. He's going to live right here in the city in which he serves. So we need to put this man in office. His name is Ken Jefferson. Never in the history of Coffee Time, Encounter Live, or TP Live have I ever endorsed any other candidate for anything the way that I've endorsed this man. So we need to get him in office. And we are voting on August 23rd. Here's the deal. Do not wait till August 23rd. Make sure you do early voting. Here's what's going to happen. When you early vote, you can vote from any precinct. You hear me? You can vote from any precinct when you early vote. If you do not, then on the 23rd, you have to go to your precinct. If you go to another precinct to vote, they will allow you to vote, but the vote will not count. You need to know that. You need to know that. This is why early voting is important. So what I'm going to need you to do is I'm going to need you to help me help you. What can I do to help you get out and vote? We don't want to wait till the 23rd. We want to do it before, okay? Ken Jefferson is our guy for sheriff, and that's what we believe, and that's what we're going to do. This morning, we're talking about wisdom to see opportunities. I really believe that God is creating a platform as well as an atmosphere that opportunities are getting ready to increase on your behalf. Now, in church world, and this is one of my issues with church world, is that we have our own language. We have our own lingo. And people don't really understand our language or our lingo. God's getting ready to take you to the next level. What does that mean? God's getting ready to take me to the next level? What does that mean? What they're trying to express is that there's increase getting ready to come in your life. Promotion is on the horizon. Every shift that you feel in your spirit, in your heart, is really an alternating of the mind. God shifts your mind, your spirit, by causing you to get more information. The more information you have, the more you see the word of God clearly, the greater threat you become. So it's information, it's increase of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that takes us to the next level. And now that I know more and I've expanded my level of consciousness to the height and breadth of what God has exposed me to, now that I know more, I can do more, and my doing will create new opportunities for me to show forth his glory. And he's going to use gifts. He's going to use the unlikely thing, but it's generally going to be the thing that you're familiar with. God's not going to give you some surprise and tell you to do something that is unfamiliar to you. It's what he's going to cause you to do, what he's going to open the door for you to get done. It's going to be something, some kind of way that you grew up with. There's a natural aspect, there's a natural inclination that you have for the thing that he's calling you to. Now, it does not mean you know it. You may not have all of the information, but you have the ability to do it even if you cannot explain it. The explaining it may come through studying, but it's a part of you already. All right. Sunshine 1113, good morning. And Andrea Mitchell, good morning. All right, give me a second. Something's going on here. So what he calls you to do, what he causes you to do, it's going to be and work in harmony with something that's inside of you. Does that make sense? Y'all talk back to me this morning. Does that make sense? I'm going to say it again. What he calls you to do, it's going to be or work in harmony with something that is inside of you. You need the wisdom to be able to see the opportunity because, again, opportunity does not manifest in its completion. Opportunity begins in seed. And I'm concerned because I believe that God has opened some doors for us that we've dismissed because the door didn't look like it was what we were believing for. It does not resemble what we are accustomed to. Generally speaking, when God opens a door, he does it with a problem. Let's say it again. Generally speaking, when God opens a door, the door that he opens with a problem. A problem is going to permit itself because the only way you're going to get hired, you've got to know that your gift is the answer to a problem. If you don't see a problem, you can't be the answer. We don't have enough pure, authentic, organic coffee shops. I don't talk about this part of the business much, but the coffee that we serve is organic. It's all natural. Carthagins, we don't put that stuff in our coffee. Our coffee is all natural. Our Hawaiian hazelnut, let me tell you how we infuse our beans. We bake the hazelnut, the Hawaiian hazelnut is baked with the coffee beans. That's how it's infused with flavor. So our Hawaiian hazelnut is not artificially flavored. That's important for you to know, that it's all natural. So there's a problem in our world. There's a big brand coffee company. I'm not going to be cheesy, but you need to do your research on Starbucks. Out west, they already have to put the Surgeon General warning on their coffee because the chemicals that they have in it, it's number one, is one to make you addicted and keep coming back. But number two, it's the same stuff in cigarettes, and high concentrated amounts of this over time can cause cancer. So there was a problem in our society with pure coffee. I'm a coffee drinker. I love it. So as a result of that, I decided to be an answer. So what I'm saying to you, your gift is the answer to somebody's problem. Tomasa Atkins McGuy says she knew something was up with them. And Andre Mitchell says, and some fertilize their crop with cocaine. Oh, wow. So your gift is the answer to somebody's problem. And in order to get the answer in place, the problem sometimes has to explode. Most people, when they see problems, they do not see themselves as the answer. They see the problem, and because it's a problem, they go the opposite way. God's going to give you the wisdom of an eagle. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, they that wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. And it says they shall mount up on wings as an eagle. That comparison to eagle is there for a reason. You know, the Bible it's really, really packed it's packed with pockets of information that is amazing once you understand it. There's a term called zoomorphic. Zoomorphic is when um, God is likened unto likened or associated with animals. It's zoomorphic. For instance, when we call him the Lion of the tribe of Judah, that's zoomorphic. There's another term. It's theromorphic. Theromorphic is when demons are likened unto to animals or associated with animals. And there's another term that I'm looking for. I'm walking and combing through some of the information that is in my mind, but it literally is when we are compared or associated with an animal. Here's the thing about an eagle. They will mount up as eagles. And that's kind of where I want to park my hat. The eagle is the only bird that runs to a storm. Every other bird, when the storm comes, they run away from it. They get out of there. When they sense a storm is coming, you can see them in herds. Kind of like you little black folk. Boy, y'all will run in a minute. But the eagle runs to the storm. And the reason the eagle runs to the storm, believe it or not, is that the eagle rides on the surface of the wind of a storm. An eagle runs to a storm. Other birds run from the storm. Now, the reason that's important, and that's something you need to know, keep at the forefront of your memory, is that I really believe that a lot of the problems that we have, a lot of the ills of our society, are opportunities to shift the right person in place. We've got barbecue places in Jacksonville that is roach infested. I went to a barbecue place. I won't call the name. Jenkins. And the rats was taking orders. Come on, Pickett, tell the truth. Somebody help us. The rats were taking orders. I saw rats toting wood. Don't tell me you have rats and roaches and your sauce is clean. Went inside of one of the restaurants, and roaches was just, they were walking by speaking like, hey, Pickett, where you know me from? They say, we heard you on radio. So you can't tell me you got rats and roaches in your place that's clean. Whenever you're working with food, you're in the food business, you should have a touch of OCD. Listen, I go to that coffee shop. I make them pull everything out. We do a deep clean every other week. We clean every day. We wipe down bottles, machines, everything. It's clean. You can come in there any given day and just see a spring in the air to allow the disinfectant to cover everything, and we don't wipe that. Not Jenkins. Why did I say that? Because somebody has, you know what? Let me do this. Andre Carlos Cooper, he's on here. Are you still with us, Doc? He says, he said, this is one of his comments. He said, yes, we are blessed to be here. This dude has some barbecue sauce. I'm telling you, it'll make you drop kick your grandmama, smack your mama, and it'll make you stomp your daddy. Well, these ideas, these creative ideas that come to you, that come to us, they come in the form of a problem because we are the answer. And, okay, yes, he's still on here. Here he is right here. I want y'all to follow him. Yeah, no, he's, He's one of my sons in the gospel. Ooh, I'm just kidding. He's actually old enough to be my father. I'm just kidding. He's been like a big brother to me. He and his wife have served in those roles and capacities over the years. I've known him all my life. But he brought me some barbecue sauce. Now, to some, and there's a reason I'm sharing this with you. He say, Dad, send me some money. Now, son, if I give you fish, you're going to get hungry again. But if I teach you how to fish, come to a well that would never run dry. You'll never be hungry again. And the way that you learn how to fish is you send the money to me because it's more blessed to give than to receive. So because I value you and your anointing much higher than myself, I'm not going to give to you. I'm going to let you give to me. Anyway, but he has some barbecue sauce. His dad was a barbecue man when I was a kid. His dad used to bless our family with barbecue. Some of that stuff my parents bought, my mom bought, but I know a lot of stuff she ain't buy because she didn't have the money. And that was some of the best barbecue ever. And he has some, and it's packaged. I need y'all to follow him, so when he release it, I need you to support him and buy it. Now, why is that significant? Because you don't get to control the idea that God gives to you. The idea that he gives to you is connected to something for you in the future. It comes in seed form. The answer that you are to be comes in seed. What is seed? Idea. Idea. It comes in the mind. It comes in your heart. It doesn't leave you alone. You pick it up, you put it down. You pick it up, you put it down. You can't get away from it. It's kind of like that burning bush. People don't understand the significance of the burning bush in the desert. It was a lot of bushes burning because it was the desert. What happened with this bush that made it different than any other burning bush is that the fire would not go out. And that's generally what God uses. He uses something that burns a fire in our heart, and it doesn't go out through disappointment, through ups, through downs, betrayal, sacrifices. You think you're supposed to be doing this, and you start doing this, then you say, I'm supposed to do that. And you can change geographical locations, but that thing that is inside of you will not go out. You're thinking about it. You wake up in the morning thinking about it. Y'all know, let me tell you something. The thing that is a part of you that you're supposed to put in the earth with the help of God, that thing, you wake up thinking about it. You go to bed thinking about it. You're ranting, you're raving. I kid you not. I don't even be trying. And I be around the house talking to myself. It's just talking. I get different thoughts. I need to do some research on X, Y, Z. That's because that's where the gift is. This is what he's calling me to do. I'm always thinking about this coffee. How can I make a better blend? Or what blends can I mix together to create something that I sleep it, I live it. It's a part of me. Sam and Kenyatta, you're listening on your morning walk. Good stuff. Enjoy the walk. Be careful. Be safe. But this thing that becomes a part of you, the fire, it will not run out. It is an unquenchable fire. That's right. Dr. Cooper, it's an unquenchable fire. It will not burn out. So when God is talking to Moses in the burning bush, it was the only bush that kept burning. There was nothing there to burn, but it kept burning. So even when you're depleted in strength, even when you feel like giving up, no matter what stage of life you're in, what measure of mind you're facilitating at the time, whatever this thing is, it will not burn out. It won't go nowhere. It keeps burning because that is the thing that God is trying to get you to focus on, because it is the answer to a problem. God, there's a song that Andre Crouch wrote. Jesus is the answer for the world today. Above him there's no other. Jesus is the way. It says Jesus is the answer. He is the answer. How do you know he's the answer? Because every problem that is in the world, he's delivered us from. He brought us healing for our sickness. He brought us peace for our discomfort. Everything that we need, he is that and some. So when God blesses, he blesses in seed form, but it always comes through the channel of a problem, because if it wasn't for a problem, opportunities would not be birthed. Most opportunities are birthed from severe problems. You say, well, and I'm just, what kind of problem is in the world that you need barbecue sauce? Well, y'all need to know that God cares about every facet of your life, all the way down to your taste buds. That's why he gave them to you. We don't think about it because our mind takes us to the things that we're more conscious of. But I know God wants us to have taste buds because he gave it to us. And there should be quality, whatever, on my taste buds. I should be eating quality food. Hello. Quality coffee. God is not against this. And that's one of the reasons that he gives men ideas so they can produce a product to aid. It's your problem that aids humanity. Listen carefully. And as that product grows, it creates a platform. And it's that platform that is supposed to be used to speak of things that God has called you to do. Y'all don't know, none of you know what Bill Gates do for a living. But his money has created a platform that the government listens to him. He's telling the government, he's telling the health department what they should do. Never dropped out of college. So you got to see that it's barbecue, but it's connected to something bigger. It could be a daycare. You're helping shape the minds of people. Your idea is connected to something that is greater than you, and this is why the fire won't go out. Let me see what Hope is saying. I don't have my glasses. They gave me Van Camp beans right before I headed back. Who, Hope? Who gave you pork and beans? I was hot. Hope, who gave you pork and beans, sweetheart? So you need to know, and it's very important that you know that your idea is going to keep burning in the furnace of your heart until you put action to it. Now, you're going to need the wisdom of God to know that this is an idea. Oh, Jenkins. I wish y'all just stop buying their stuff. And you say, Pickett, that's wrong. That's another black business. No, I'm not wrong for calling out what's right. The Apostle Paul did it all through the scriptures. And a lot of times when we call people out, we looked at it, you wrong, you shouldn't do that. It's another black. No, they wrong. They did it to themselves. I can see if it was a mistake. I had someone to go in the coffee shop about a week or so ago, and they said to me, well, your crew didn't know the menu. I was asking questions they couldn't answer. And I had to apologize to the person and tell them that is not my practice. That is not what we do. We specialize on customer service. He said, well, no, they were nice. They just weren't educated. And I had to explain to him one of the problems with being in business during a pandemic, people don't want to work. And then being a small business, I can't pay them $18, $19, $20 an hour. So I'm not paying them enough. So I'm limited as to what I can choose from. I have to trust God even in this area to get quality people to work because I'm not paying them 18. Amazon shutting it down. These folk making $20 an hour. And there's a challenge there. So I have a new crew. They're still being trained, but they got to work. It's like 5 of them, that morning shift. And there's a lot of stuff they just don't know. And that's just a part of where we are. but I said that to say this. That's the exception. That's not the rule when it comes to our coffee shop. Our people are knowledgeable. That night shift, they're very knowledgeable. The morning shift, they're getting there. They're growing in knowledge. But you're going to get excellent service even if they don't know what they're talking about. Your food is handled with care. And in fact, I have rules and guidelines in place. There are certain foods they cannot prepare unless I'm there. Because I don't want you talking over these people's food. You're not going to carry no conversation. I make a mask up, their gloves on, their head is covered. They have to have on aprons before we start prepping food. You know why? I'm not going to give somebody something I would not eat. Nene Daniels says, let's see. She says, we just cook our own food because these restaurants no longer care what's going out their doors. I'm sorry. You're absolutely you're absolutely correct. But you know, at Crazy Beans Coffee, we don't play that. Oh, we sell Philly cheese sticks. We have burgers. We are officially not just a coffee shop. We are also a cafe. And we had to kind of come in the middle. Here's why. Because the community demanded more. And this is what I'm talking about when I'm saying wisdom to see opportunity. All right. We were just a coffee shop. Wisdom to see opportunities. We were just a coffee shop. Here's what we did. We began to expand and we became a cafe because the community, they buy that coffee. We have no problem selling coffee. Coffee has been, still is our number one seller. Straight up. We sell probably, I'm going to say anywhere from 500 to 600, maybe 700, depending on the day, maybe 800 cups of coffee a day. They love the coffee. But they started asking us, hey, y'all got burgers? And I used to laugh. It was funny to me that they would come to a coffee shop and ask for a hamburger until I heard about 40 people say the same thing. Wisdom to see opportunity. They kept asking for burgers. So I talk, there's a fraternity of coffee owners. There's a fraternity of, globally. And I'm a part of this group, this club, and we talk about, what we need to do for our businesses to make it better. If something new is on the market, we talk about that stuff. And I've become friends with these people, and I love them. I'm the only black, too. I love them. These guys have become brothers to me. And I threw it out there, hey, any of you all sell hamburgers? And they laughed. And they told me, Pickett, don't you, I see where you're going. Don't think about it. Miss Alberta, good to see you this morning. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. They start laughing. They say, Pickett, don't you do it. They said, if you start selling hamburgers, it's going to be coffee suicide for you because you don't want anything on your menu to compete with the burger. And they were correct. However, this is one of the things that you got to have in business. Wisdom. I don't care nothing about it being suicide. It's what the people are asking for. No one can really tell you how to do what you need to do like you because God gives you the idea and the wisdom for the idea is connected to the idea. And inside of the idea, there's an unlimited amount of wisdom on what you need to do. And as the idea unfolds, that wisdom begins to grow and I start selling hamburgers. Now, we were doing deli food. We do salads, chicken Caesar salad. We do house salads. And we do, there's another kind of salad we do. We've always done that. We do tuna salad sandwiches, chicken salad sandwiches. We have, and we put everything on croissants. That's one of the things that make us unique. We don't use light bread. We use croissants. That's our signature, right? We also do seafood salad. You can get it on lettuce or without lettuce. All right? So we've done that. But we started serving hot food. When folk came in there, they order a hamburger with coffee. I'd never seen that in my life. But wisdom began to kick in. It went against the grain of a coffee shop, but it was within, it's in compliance with the demand of the community. So you've got to know your community. You've got to know your customer, and wisdom will bring you what you need to do next. But you need to have wisdom to be able to see wisdom and respond accordingly. Now, if you go to comparing yourself to other people and yielding your ideas and yielding opportunities for growth and subject it to the knowledge of other individuals, they're going to talk you away from it, and you're going to miss the golden opportunity. I started selling hamburgers because they were asking. It went completely against everything that a coffee shop is, everything that a coffee shop does. It went completely against it. But I felt it was what we need to do because the community was asking for it. Let me tell you what wisdom is. Wisdom, I'm going to tell you all it is. Knowledge is information accumulated. Wisdom is the ability to take knowledge and use it where it's needed. The Bible says, if any man lack wisdom, let him ask of God, who freely gives all things. And some of you, you just need wisdom. Opportunity is knocking at your door. Opportunity is waiting for you. Opportunity is open for you. You're sitting around here crying because you don't get the opportunity. Nobody's calling. Nobody. Well, why they won't help me the way they help such and so? Because you ain't such and so. And I'm telling you, if opportunity is not coming to you, that is God speaking to you to build your own stage so you can give yourself an opportunity. Let me give you something else. Let me give you something else. I'm gonna give you something else. Your customer becomes the voice of need for your company. I'm gonna say it again. Your customer. You say, well, now this is me. It's no way in the world I'd have put hamburgers in a coffee shop. I was totally against it. Totally. No, we don't. The first two people that asked, I kind of said it in a sarcastic manner. No, we don't have burgers and we don't have steaks either. Yeah, because I thought it was totally preposterous. I'm a coffee shop. But the customer kept asking. And I had to reassess what I was doing. We weren't losing money. We weren't. Because most time, the only time y'all listen and the only time your heart is open is when you go to losing. We weren't losing. We were winning. We were selling our coffee. I'm telling you, selling it. So it wasn't like I hit rock bottom and I had to reassess everything that I was doing. It wasn't like that. Wisdom said, hey, this is probably the 10th person that's asked, I think it's something to these burgers. Then they start asking for fries. So I bought a fryer, and because we are inside of the JTA building, they don't have a vent. So we did fries for like 3 weeks, and we had to stop because they don't have a vent. So I bought that fryer, I made that money in 3 weeks. You hear what I'm saying? Then I got me an air fryer. Now we're getting this week. We're implementing the air fryer because I bought it. But I didn't take it up there because there were some other things I needed to do first. Here's my point to you. Here's my point. Don't expect your product to be somebody else's, and don't expect to do what others are doing. That's what makes you different and unique, and you need the wisdom to be able to see your own uniqueness. And the people around you are going to help. They're going to help define that. What that is, they're going to help define it. And once you define it, they're going to help you refine it. When we start doing those burgers, the first one we serve, the man said, "Oh my God, this burger is good, but this bread is too soft." I've never heard nobody complain about bread being too soft. But when I looked at it, who helped us define that we should do burgers? The customer, because they kept asking. How did we refine the burgers we were serving? We listened to our customer. So I told them, y'all stop. Today's going to be the last day that we use this bread. I went out and got a tougher bread, because when you start putting, because we do single, double, triple burgers. You put cheese, some of them want bacon, lettuce, tomato, pickle. When you put all that, if the bread is too soft, it's absorbed by the juices and you want firm bread, but you want fresh bread. Now they don't complain about those burgers. So your wisdom is going to help you see the problem. The problem is going to lead you to the answer. Well, what was the problem? The problem was the people that was coming in asking for coffee was asking for burgers. That's a problem. Well, how do you become the answer? Meet the problem. So your customer would define what you need, and they will refine. They're going to tell you how it need to be done. And for all of you who say, "Well, I don't do that," because maybe you were like me. I'm not selling no burgers. I don't eat no burgers. Well, when you go fishing, you don't go with your favorite food. You go with what the customer needs. And there's a market. Let me tell you how I set, and I'm talking about wisdom today. Wisdom to see opportunities. Now, I didn't even know, but there was a hidden gem in these burgers. And I'm going to tell you what it was in a second. I didn't know how to price the burgers. McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, all of them doing 99 cent. They got these little 99-cent burgers. What's going to make my burger good? So I had to start shopping for burgers. And I found the Angus burger. And I'm saying to myself, that's too much. I can't pay all that for the Angus burgers, because in order for me to buy Angus burgers, I'm going to have to charge more than anybody else. And the market that I'm in says that you should not sell a burger for more than $2. Hear me, folk. When we start doing the statistics, we start doing, okay, we can't. I'm in La Villa, okay? I get everybody. I get the attorneys, the doctors. I get the people that sleep on the street, low income. They live in low income houses, and some of them ride the bus. I get them all. I get judges. So, statistically speaking, I should not be selling a burger at most $2.50. Our tuna salad sandwiches, we were selling those for like $4. Everything we said, nothing we sold was over $5 because of the neighborhood we were in. It has to be affordable for your clientele. So we're going to do a burger. It had to be at a certain price point. But wisdom said to me, this is a good burger. So the burgers that we get, if you go to New York, Chicago, because, if you go to New York, Chicago, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, you go to Deerfield Beach, Vero Beach, you go to some of these resorts, the same burger everywhere. Everywhere I've gone, everywhere I've seen the burger made, this burger, the Angus burger, is about $18. And I said, I'm not selling no burger for no $20. Listen to this. So as I'm shopping and doing my research for the burger, guess who reached out to me? Dwayne Wade's company. And there's a burger that he put on the market that they wanted me to carry. They're going to do everything for me. They get a percentage of the profit. I get a percentage of the profit. We get to use his name, Dwayne Wade. You know, we use his name. Name ain't really good as it was when the burgers came out, because you know he whatever. So now I have a decision to make. I met with the people. They're ready to send me everything, and they said, "Hey, when you get ready to launch, we can get Dwayne Wade to come in town, okay? He's going to come in town, sign autographs, take pictures, and they're going to put Crazy Beans Cafe on their website." And I started thinking about, man, that's a good push. That would be great marketing. But here's the deal. I'm not a franchise yet. So because I'm not a franchise yet, it does me no good. I need promotion in the city. So I turned them down. And their burgers, the price point of their burgers was about $6 and some change. Great price. We were going to make our money. Great price. But I just didn't feel that was it. So I found another burger, another Angus burger. I don't get the fanfare of Dwayne Wade. But I said, hey, we're going to use this burger. I tasted the burger. I bought some, took them home, put them on the grill, and it was just a great tasting burger. Great, juicy. So I put it on the menu. And I started selling the burger for $5. It became the second best-selling item on the menu, so I raised the burger to $8. Now the burger is like $8.75, almost $9. And you train people how to treat you. I'm giving you wisdom. Listen to me. It goes against everything that I'm supposed to do. It goes against the price point for my community. It goes against There's no way nobody in this community is going to pay $10 for a burger. Everybody was telling me that. I talked with some of the local owners in their market, in their restaurants, and they don't sell no burger for as much as I'm charging. But when we look at the quality of the burger, what it was going to take to complement the burger, then we would look at packaging. I'm like, no, this was right in line with what we needed, and I did it. And it is still the second best selling item on the menu. And I get people who catch the bus buying the burger. I also get the people, how much? I ain't paying no $10 for no burger. McDonald's, I can get burger, fries, and they go off and they're mad. And I tell my people, don't be moved by that. It's not for him. You're not going to win everybody. But had I not had wisdom, the opportunity to raise my revenue would have passed me by. Had I listened to what people said, the opportunity to raise my revenue would have passed me by. Had I not listened to what the customer's saying, the opportunity to raise my revenue would have passed me by. For a coffee shop in La Villa, we are killing the game. God be praised for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. But there are some things that we put in place to help kill the game. Your answer of opportunity is going to be presented in the arena of a problem. Without a problem, you can't be the answer. You've got to be the answer. Well, in order to be the answer, you got to find the problem. If you are the solution, there has to be a problem. I'm going to give you one more. Because sometimes opportunity comes as somebody that just wants to return a good favor. And when I went into radio the very first time I went into radio on my own, I had been in radio for about 2 years as the co-host of another show. And they didn't ask me to be a radio host. That's not how the opportunity came. The radio station was having a Christmas concert, and nobody would call them back. Pure Radio. This is a true story. They were the radio station, Pure Radio, was getting ready to have a Christmas concert in St. John's Town Center in 2011. And they had reached out to the local churches. They reached out to local musicians and did not receive one phone call. So they came to me. They said, yeah, we called them and no one would call us back. I said, well, how many people did you call? They said, well, so far we called about 20 churches. I said, none of them would call you back? They said no. I said, okay. I kid you not, the general manager, the GM of the radio station, and the manager of the sales department were meeting with me in my office, and the only thing they wanted me to do, could you put in a word to these? Could you put this program together for us? I said, I can't put it together for you, but here's what I am going to do. I'm going to call this local talent. I'm going to call these churches, and we're going to put this program together right now. I start calling these churches because most of the pastors, I have the phone number. If I don't have their phone number, I have the minister of music. I have a relationship. I know them. They know me. And I put their entire program together, their entire Christmas program together. I put together in 1 hour, just sitting there making phone calls in 1 hour. Now, in that 1 hour, I put their whole program together. You know what they asked me? They said, wow, thank you so much. Wow, we knew you'd be the one to do it. They said, what can I do for you? We want to return the favor. And this is what he said. Do you have anything going on that we can advertise? What can we do? Now, I didn't have time to think about it. Well, let me pray on that. No, it had been in my heart to have my own show. I had been carrying that for about 6 months. I wanted my own radio show. I didn't know how it was going to happen. It's because listen, the blessings for your future come in seed form. The seed is in your heart. The seed is in your mind. The seed is desire, but you need the wisdom in order to place it. You need to see the opportunity by finding the problem. So they said, we want to return the favor. Now, in this scenario, they were the answer. Well, what problem did I have? The problem that I had is I wanted my own radio show, but I didn't really have a leg up. No one, nobody reaching out talking about, hey, we want you on. I'd never been on radio, so they don't know what I could do. You know, even when I was the co-host of a show, I didn't talk. I was there just agreeing with whatever they said. So I had no name for it. I didn't have a foot in the industry. I had a friend who was the general manager of a few radio stations. I had talked to him, and he told me, no, there's no market for what you're trying to do right now. So I had no end. But when they said, can we return the favor? What is it that we can do for you? My heart kicked in, and the wisdom of God kicked in. Yes, there is something you can do. It is. I want my own show. I want my own show, and I want it to be inspirational. I say I do these videos in the morning. At that time, it was I can't even think. SocialCam. I say I do these videos in the morning just to encourage people to help them start their day on SocialCam, and I want to take that and make a show out of it. They said, okay, let's talk about it. I said, okay, when? Because I want to put you on the calendar now. I am not going to lose this opportunity to at least present it. So I'm going to get in your calendar. I'm not going, okay, just give me a call. No, we're going to plan this just the way I plan your entire concert. So they said, well, I got to go back, check my, I made them put me on their calendar while they were in my face. I had to get some level of commitment out of them. And then they told me, they said, okay, when it checked out, they liked the concept. They liked the idea. They said, we can't promise it. Maybe you can do it for a couple of days. No. I want this to be a show. They said, well, the time slot that you want, Bishop McLaughlin has. I said, really? He said, yeah, so you can't do that. And the other time slot, Donna McClurkin has. But it was in my heart. So if it's in my heart, it's my job to knock on the door to try to make it happen. If it does not happen, I've done my part. God has to do the rest. All right. So I said, well, what if I talk to Bishop? They said, you can. You can talk to him. I said, okay. Well, what are you going to do about Donnie? This is what they told me. This is what the radio station told me. We will talk to Donnie McClurkin about moving his time up an hour, but you go talk to Bishop and get his blessings to move his time back. We wanted 4 to 6. Donnie came on at 4. Bishop came on at 5. I talked to Bishop. I met him at the bistro. Hey, Bishop, I got the show. It's in my heart. Blase, blase. Bishop said, okay, what is it going to be? I said, it's going to be me. It's going to be full of humor. There are going to be nuggets of truth. There are going to be things that we push, but it's a radio show. It's a music show. He said, okay. He said, is it an hour of preaching? No, sir. It's a show. He said, okay, so you're not preaching. No, sir, I'm not. He said, okay. Yeah, you can do that. I'll go back an hour. I said, okay, Bishop, is there anything you need to do for me? Listen to what this man told me. He said, no, T. He said, son, just do what's in your heart. And he gave me his time slot. What am I trying to convey to you? The situation that surrounds your idea is going to be problematic. That is how you know your idea is needed. If there's not a problem, there's no need for a solution. So instead of running from the storm, instead of running from the problem, you got to run into it and learn how to sail on top of it as an eagle. An eagle has wisdom on how to sail on top of the problem. You need the wisdom of God on how to go into a problem and be the answer and the solution. And we birthed the Terrence Pickett Show. Here it is, 10 years later from when the Terrence Pickett Show was conceived. 10 years later. And I'm still eating off the fruit from my start. Because your answer that you have is going to build a path and a platform for you to eat next year. This is why you got to listen to it. Don't compare it. Nobody else was doing radio the way me and Train wanted to do it. God blessed us with a producer. When I called Train one night, hey, the radio show just wasn't supposed to happen. It just wasn't. Me and Troy Sneed was going to do it first. Ran him out, yeah. Troy said, man, we're getting ready to launch. And he's like, man, I'm too busy. I called Train. Hey, didn't even know Tracy, his wife, produced radio shows. When you begin to invade the answer by putting action to it, the problem is going to show up. Now, if the problem does not show up, then you're going to have to find the problem to be the answer. In this scenario, they came to me with the problem. I provided the answer. Their problem was they couldn't get a church to call them back. They're a radio station and couldn't get nobody to call them back. You know why? Didn't nobody know them. They had no footings in the community. They didn't have a voice in the community. And the stuff that they were doing, the community didn't want no part of. So the first thing that I did in there, when I came on with my show, I said, the first thing you got to do is make a mark. Y'all not doing any advertising to the people that you want to listen. So I didn't just become a voice for the show. No, I became a manager. I began to tell them what they needed to do, who they needed to talk. I started meeting with people, building their business. They weren't making no money. Till the Terrence Pickett Show, we took them from zero to overflow. We were at the Jazz Festival, the Funk Fest, anything that was going on in the city, we were there, passing out cards, interacting with folk. And it caught fire, so much fire, until it's still burning. So when they told me, the day they told me, that because we got complaints, what you think you're going to get with comedy? They didn't like the complaints. And the people in the community, it was only 3 of them. It was this woman, I think she was a pastor or something. that would call in every day. She got in Bishop Wiley's ear and started downing my show. And then there were certain truths, certain theological truths that I was throwing out, such as tithing. I started telling people, you're not going to be cursed if you don't tithe, and you're not blessed because you tithe. You're blessed because what Jesus did. If you tithe, the blessing that comes with tithing is in your giving. And I started breaking that stuff down. Nobody agreed with me at that time. No, nobody. And the city was in an uproar. They were mad because I was taking their money. These pastors was mad at me. He's preaching against tithing. I wasn't preaching against tithing. I was preaching against the curse that was being preached, that if you didn't tithe, God ain't. How come the only curse? And this is what I said on the radio, because you got to understand, trailblazers go before, and they're proactive, and they're not afraid of bad press. Now, because I did that, they took my show off air. You can't be afraid to lose, baby. Not when conviction is involved. Now, more people know me from Coffee Time. I got people all over the world off Coffee Time. Listen to me. I was in Charlotte last week, Charlotte, North Carolina. I kid you not. And a woman came up to me. She said, "Oh my God, Mr. Coffee Time." And I'm like, "You listen to Coffee Time?" She said, "I do. I love your show." She had some people with her, and we hugged and took pictures. Here's why. When you're moving with the conviction that the idea brings you, there are going to be many to try and stop you, but they will not be able to hinder you. The same fire that gets you started will keep you going. So I went from radio to TV. No, I went from radio to creating my own show. Y'all not saying nothing to me. The platform, I didn't lose. It was just a transfer. They didn't want me on the station. I think the straw that broke the camel's back when I told people you're not gonna be cursed. God ain't cursing folk because they ain't tithing. How come the only curse that makes it from the Old Testament to the New one is the one where you ain't giving a dime out your dollar? And the sales agent, her name's Janine. She was like, "Oh, Terrence, please don't do that. Oh my God, you're gonna get. Oh my God, they're gonna kick you off air." Well, this is part of my show. I'm going to stay true to what comes natural to me. If you don't like it, I ain't got nothing to do with that. There's a level of truth that Train and I presented the city every day, and it was full of controversy. We started talking about pastors who were pastoring churches driving Mercedes-Benz but didn't have life insurance. Train started ringing on pastors for wearing red suits. What am I saying to you? The wisdom flows from you being true to you. Authenticity is what puts you in the way of wisdom. If you're trying to be a copy of somebody else, whatever it is your hand is on, if God wanted their idea, he would have gave it to them. Dare to be different. I dare you to be different. Stay true to you. Your customer has a voice. Because just like people were complaining about our show, just like there are people that complain about the price of that hamburger, there are so many other people who embrace it and they love it and they say, "What a great job you're doing. Thank you for bringing this to our attention." Teron Bartley says, "Man, I remember those days. Those shows brought light. We had haters every day. Every day. Haters was calling. We were reaching over 100,000 people. And the only thing we did is transfer. Trains on the road full time. I'm still staying true to this. And it has built a platform that nobody can take. because I didn't build it off of the merit of what they believed. I built it off of the conviction that God placed in my heart. Stay true to obedience to God, because the same God that blesses those around you for your yes, the same God will harden the heart of Pharaoh. You have to stay true to what he told you. I wasn't trying to be nobody else's show. Now, from there, I've listened to about 7 or 8 shows that were trying to be me and Train, because we're trailblazers. And it's a good compliment when you're trying to be like me. It's just not going to last, because you're not being true to you. And whether you're on radio or TV, it's not going to last. And I saw them shows come on. Some of them called me with my ideas. And I told them, well, I'm not going to give you my ideas. Even if I give you my ideas, it's not going to work. So they would listen to my show, write stuff down, then go and try and do what I did. None of them are on air right now. I am consistent from radio to I'm still on radio. I'm still on TV. It's just not in this area. But I'm appreciated, and I know y'all appreciate some of these other folks. I'm appreciated around the nation, around the world. I am. I got the fruit to show you. And no one can take this platform. Am I going back on radio here? I am. It's going to be different. You're going to have to pay to get me. But what's going to happen? A problem is going to arise, and they're going to need me as an answer. I'm prophesying. Y'all watch, see what I tell you now? And this time, the contract's going to be fixed where they won't be able to take me off. I leave on my own terms. You knew I was full of controversy before you asked me to come. That's one of the things that made the show catch a fire. Whenever you have humor and controversy, wherever that is, what it's on is going to grow. You can't be afraid of it. Stop trying to get everybody to like you and your product. It's not for everybody. You're called to a market. Stay true to you, and let your market attract who you're supposed to have. As much as you want to win the world, you're not going to win the world. Everybody's not going to like your stuff, and you got to be okay with that. I'm okay when I hear, listen to me, God in heaven is my witness. 2 months ago, there's a radio station here that wanted me to come on as a personality. And they were telling me what they wanted. And then they slipped up, and this is what they said. They said, you've done a great job, but everybody don't like you. So you got to do it this way. And I let them know, I'm not trying to get everybody to like me. Everybody don't hate me either. You call me to come here, meaning you see the value. So I don't cater to what people say. I stay true to what's in me. They didn't like Jesus. They didn't like Martin Luther King. They hated Malcolm X too. They didn't like Barack Obama. Are we trying to get a like award? Are we trying to be liked, or are we trying to be effective? The only way you're going to be effective, you better stay true to you and stop listening to these folks trying to change you. They want to conform you and put you in the box of their opinion. I'm too big for your little mind. And there's a confidence that you got to have. I am anchored in what God gave me. I'm confident about what he gave me. And if it does not fit for your platform, that is God saying to me, I'm on the wrong ground, because there's a ground where I'm going to grow and be fruitful. And the people that are a part of the ground are going to be able to eat the fruit and be happy. Freedom is in knowing where you're supposed to be and not allowing people to twist your arm. And here it is. Listen to this. July 17th. We're launching our full-time church. We've been doing internet stuff. Why? Because I'm being true to what God told me. I'm not trying to win no popularity contest. And I'm not trying to be a duck like everybody else and fall in line with which way the water is going. No. I'm flying in a storm. This is the wrong time to start a church. It's the wrong time to be thinking about church. People still dying. But I'm going to stay true to what he's called me to do. I'm going to stay true to who he's called me to be. And I let the rest take care of itself. Be true to you. Make sure your relationship with God is so solid that people can't talk you out of it and make you conform to their ideology. Because that's what people want you to do. They want you to be them. God made me me. Have you lost your mind? Do you know how many times I've told my bosses I'm not doing that? You know how many times I've been fired because I wouldn't conform? Do you know the trauma it cost me? The sadness it cost me? It did. It didn't feel good. I didn't like being kicked out. I didn't like being talked about. I didn't like being lied on. But let me tell you what I hate more than anything. I hate not being able to be me. And that is more weightier than any hell you can take me through. I am going to be me, and you're not going to take my will. I'm going to be a better me. I'm going to make the necessary adjustments and changes as I grow. The more information that he gives me, the more I conform to the will of his way. But you're not going to talk me out of being me. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and I'm good with that. I'm not called to everybody, and I'm good with that. But what you're not going to do is talk me out of being me and doing what God has placed in my heart. He built me for this. He created me for this. He made sure I didn't get special attention. He made sure I was overlooked. He made sure that no one gave me special favor so that I would have the knit and the grit to start on the ground floor and build this thing organically and not be persuaded by other people's opinion. So when you overlooked me, you were blessing me. When you didn't answer me, you were blessing me. And God used every stone thrown at me to build a wall against my enemy. And he built inside of me an anchor that I'm not going to change and conform to the will of your way. Because he made me. He's the only one I owe. And they wouldn't give me money. All the money I raised for these organizations, they wouldn't give me money. And God raised y'all up. Y'all start giving. Hey! Y'all started giving. I needed new equipment, new lights. Y'all bought it. Come on here. What I'm saying to you is when you yield to wisdom, God will show you how to get it done. When you stay true to you and the God that's in you, God will show you how to get it done. Where there is vision, there is provision. Where God guides, he provides. And it may come through a raven. It may not come through the sources that you expect. But God's going to make sure you got what you need so you can get the job done. He's not going to leave you hanging. And for everybody that left, I'm going to share this last thing and I'm done. You know, people, when I started my online ministry, I didn't call it ministry. I called it Coffee Time. People, what is he doing? Why are he putting all these videos out? Because no one else was doing it. I was doing whole shows on social media. Go back. Check the record. You couldn't even record on Facebook when I started this. They didn't have they weren't there yet, but I saw it coming. Started on Social Cam. And I would share my show, my 5-10 minute show. From Social Cam to Facebook, Instagram. When I started this, Facebook wasn't even ready for me. But I kept going. So I know a little something about being authentic. I know something about listening to the God who called me, and the situations around me were not conducive to what he said. That's how I can talk to you. I've done what nobody has done. I'm breaking records, have broke records, and will continue to break records. Not because I'm so great. No, I'm so obedient. And there have been times I procrastinated. It was. But I got my behind back in line. And I'm saying to you There's a wisdom available with you. When God gives you an idea, wisdom is attached to it. The way that you get the wisdom is start walking out the process of the idea. And as you begin to walk out the process of the idea, the wisdom is going to unlock and take you further than your plan does. You're supposed to be great. And there's a lot, you're going to have a lot of haters. You got to be okay with that. They still hating, I'm still growing. And when the haters come in the coffee shop, I bless them. Sometimes I give them, if you get coffee half off, it might be because I believe you're My point is, I bless those that curse me. I understand. Many of the people that hate you want to be you. They want your boldness. They want your audacity. So you reach, I teach. But there's a blessing in this. There's a wisdom that's available for you. Get in position to receive. Hey, thank y'all for listening. These coffee times have been long, but I think they've been good. Thank you all for listening. Thank you so much. Don't forget July 17th. July 17th, we're launching our church full time. I am so excited about this. July 17th at 600 King Street, Jacksonville, Florida, 32204. Love Without Religion. Make sure you come be a part of that. We're changing lives and we're saving our community. Don't forget the 5th annual Beauty and the Beat Women's Empowerment Brunch Transform Her, Saturday, July the 30th from 12 to 4. You can get tickets at beautyandthebeat2022.eventbrite.com. That's with Miss Raquel here, the founder, and Miss Christine Wilson is the co-founder. Also, don't forget that we have an election coming up August the 23rd. We have an election. We have a job to do. We've got to put Ken Jefferson in office. It's the only way. You want to be safe, you want to sleep in peace, we got to give him in office. All right. Thank you so much. For all of you that are on, thanks for hanging out with me. Listen, you were born to win, predestined to succeed. There's nothing that can happen to you today that the wisdom on the inside of you is not equipped to handle. You've got to calm down, slow down, use emotional intelligence, trust the God of your salvation. Be quiet and let wisdom speak. When wisdom speak, you will always win. Don't forget, we're able to do what we do off of your love gifts. The Cash App is at the bottom of the screen. $ sponsor Coffee Time. I wish that you would. Somebody give $1,000 a day, $10,000 a day, $500 today. We need it so we continue to make a mark in this community and abroad. I love you all. Have a great day, and always remember to think higher, speak life, and in all you're getting, get on.